you know what I'm sick of going on about? Ianis Hagi, right?
Right.
But this is the story that just won't go away. I thought when the transfer window shut that maybe Hagi would move on, kind of get his move. But his former agents come out today and said that Rangers are asking for just shy of £3 million for him. I mean, I don't know how much truth there is in that. Some of the responses we've had on social media, Edward McGuigan, his wages treble if he plays another game, get him out. I don't think it quite trebles. We had that exclusive story, didn't we, a few weeks ago on the Hotline Live.
Yeah.
It's an extra £6 a week.
£6, yeah. There's also a suggestion that his previous club in Belgium would be due a significant sum as well. So that makes it more believable if it is only £6.
Aye.
But listen, I understand why Rangers fans are asking the question because they're looking at what they've got in the pitch, and they can't fathom why Hagi has been, treated. He's actually been treated terribly. Sent away to train with the kids, play with the B team, and Rangers fans aren't daft. They're looking at what they do have on that pitch, and they know that there's every chance that if Hagi was out there, he'd improve them.
Stephen Kilpatrick says as well, 10 million at least for Hagi. He's just got to the last 16 of the Euros with Romania.
He can't get a game for a Rangers team that's plummeting down the league. I mean, that's the point. I mean, we've talked about it, Scott. If you put him in the first team, then at least you're saying, no, he's a valuable player to us. If you're not even letting him train with the first team and he's getting sent out to play at the weekend with the kids, you're actually saying he's not good enough to get into the first team. So how can you possibly charge premium price for that?
Exactly. How bad is your starting position when you're coming to haggling or bargaining when whoever the buying club might be, they know that you've got no intention of playing the guy.
I mean, we'll give you £1 million. Shut up, sit down.
Exactly. I mean, how can Rangers demand any sort of fee for a guy that they've publicly claimed will not play in the manager's publicly come out and says he won't play in the first team again? I mean, the Rangers have Jack was saying about how they've treated him. They have literally decreased his value day by day throughout the whole summer by everything they've done. I mean, if Rangers are going to get any kind of fee for him, the guy they should be thanking is the Romania manager because he's the only guy that's keeping Hagi's value.
But they've missed that ship sailed, Scott. And again, typical Rangers, they've got a guy, the last man standing from the SPFL at the Euros. He's playing well. He's attracting a bit of interest. He's playing on a decent Romania side, and he's one of the main creative forces in that side. And the first thing that Rangers do is bring him back and say, "You train with the kids." Honestly,
and see,
it is absolutely mental.
See as well, Scott. I mean, I know we're not kidding on his Maradona, right? But I think there's no doubt he would improve the Rangers starting 11 right now. I mean, do you think that's fair?
I agree. I'm not saying he's going to be Rangers' saviour this season, but is he better than Tom Lawrence, Ross McCausland, Rabbi Matondo, Scott Wright before he left Kieran Dowell? Certainly. For me, he's a better player than all of them. So, listen, we know the thing about the wages and that, but Hagi has come out and said or hinted that he'd be more than happy to sit down with Rangers and try and sort something out. There's always a way round this, and I agree with Jack. I just don't understand Rangers' cast iron stubbornness over this, not to give the guy a game. I mean, I just don't get it. He's been at the Euros. He's a talented player. I know they've signed Bayrami to play in the number 10 role, but I agree, Daniel. I think he would add something to the Rangers team. And as we've touched on, even if it's for 6 months to add value to him and he can show what he can do, and then you can get rid of him in the summer.
He's also versatile, Scott. He's not just a guy that plays the number 10. He can play anywhere across the three. He's a talented boy. And I tell you something else. He seems to me to have the right character. He's not a prima donna. He's not been throwing his toys out the pram. He's not. He doesn't cause any problems. He seems to me to be a really, really decent guy and a really good professional. And I honestly, it's almost as if I don't know. I honestly, I can't get my head around.
I know.
Rangers have got a talented player there, and they're treating him like a dog.
Yeah. Look at how I know it's slightly different, right? Because of a kind of disciplinary issue, but look at the way Jimmy Tillene at Aberdeen has dealt with the Duke situation. Yeah. So Duke goes on strike for 3 months in the summer, thinking he's getting a move, and terrible behaviour, towards his teammates, to the club, the fans, whatever. New manager comes in, has to deal with it immediately. Shows his authority, shows who's boss, disciplines him, and Duke suffers for that, doesn't get any kind of move away. But now that the transfer window's finished, I quite like the way Tallinn has basically offered that kind of olive branch and said, right, come on then, if you want to come in, you'll work hard, there's players ahead of you, but if you get back to your best and show me you're hungry enough, you can add something to my team. And I think, listen, Aberdeen will probably sell Duke in the summer or he'll probably go. But I actually think he'll come back into that Aberdeen squad now, hungrier. And
with fire under him.
Aye, a real fire under him to go and show people what he can do and almost kind of make it up to the fans and his teammates. And I know it's slightly different with Hagi, but I get the feeling if Rangers could sit down with him and sort this out and get him back in the squad, I think he would have that same fire. He could actually give Rangers a real spark for the next part of the season.
Scotty, the incredible thing for me is not only is he a talented player, but he's actually come up with a sort of out of the box solution. He's smarter than the guys that he's dealing with. What he's suggesting is, see this wage rise, let's defer it. Why don't, if the club hasn't got the money to pay an extra $6,000, I get that. Defer it. Let's see where we are in December. You've got a Europa League campaign. You're going to make a right few quid out of that. I'm happy to defer that wage rise, and you can pay me at the end. You can pay me when I leave. You can pay me in January. Pay me whenever. Just let me play football.
Aye.
Guys screaming out to play football.
Aye. In the interest of fairness, we've been very pro Hagi, but Paul Lynch watching on Facebook, he's not happy with you, Scott. He says, Hagi playing well, 22 games with Alaves, 2 goals, 2 assists. Slow on a week in the jail. His previous club are also due an additional payment, which you mentioned, Keith. Scott needs to give his head a wobble. And then he goes on and says, he asked the agent to find him
this guy.
asked his agent to find him a club at the start of the Euros, and no one wanted him. I don't think that takes away from the fact he would definitely, I think, improve the Rangers team, and he's just an asset sitting there doing nothing.
At a time when Rangers are facing a dearth in talent.
And as Paul says, he might not have had a great... No one's kidding on he's Cristiano Ronaldo.
No. But is he better than what the manager has available? That's the question.
And also, he went, with all due respect, he went to Alaves immediately after a serious injury.
Yeah.
The whole point of that loan was just to get training again, get some game time. And of course, it didn't go as well as he'd hoped. No, it's a difficult league to go to at the best of times. But I think he went there to try and get fit again and recover for this injury. So sure, the idea should have been, as soon as he comes back from injury, he goes on loan and we get him back fully fit. That's happened. He's not played for the reasons we've discussed. And he's went away to the Euros and looked absolutely fine for Romania and did so just last week in the international break.
I'll tell you what's worse than that. He probably went to Spain with a major confidence crisis, having been told you're getting sacrificed because we want to bring Sam Lammers in.
Aye, and Kieran Dowell.
Sorry, Sam, if you're